Man, what's wrong with you, lads?
We're filming everyone, mate.
Perverts, man.
Yeah. Like you then?
I'm not recording.
Yeah. You're calling me a pervert for filming, right? So.
Yeah, a lot of kids around.
Yeah. I reckon you're a pervert.
Why am I a pervert?
Just because you've got a blue t-shirt on.
What?
You got a blue t-shirt on.
What's a blue? That's grey and orange, mate.
That definitely makes you a pervert.
That makes you colourblind and a pervert.
What you...
Welcome back to the channel. We've just gone viral. In this video we release a copy of the transcripts of the court hearing of Curtis Arnold and his SHPO order.
Now, for the very first time, I can show you the proof that Curtis Arnold is lying and that he is subject to a sexual harm prevention order. The document you're looking at is the official transcript of a sentencing hearing that took place at Harrow Crown Court on the 8th of February 2019 in the case of Regina and Curtis Arnold. The case number was T for Tango 201-80379. And the sentencing judge was Her Honour Judge Rosa Dean, and it was that judge who authorised the release of a transcript to myself. PDF copies of the files with the transcript can be found using the link provided in the video description. I am now going to read to you key parts of the transcript. These are the words of Judge Dean in her sentencing of Curtis Arnold. You now fall to be sentenced for 12 counts of fraud relating to 12 separate victims. 1 count of voyeurism and causing a person to engage in sexual activity relating to a 13th victim, and 1 count of making indecent images relating to a 14th victim who was 17 at the time. In relation to the 12 frauds, those offences started in March 2015 but went on for nearly 3 years until your arrest in April 2018. The pattern was that you would get to know women who were training at a gym. Sometimes these were gyms which you knew full well you were banned from using. You pretended you had a company. You pretended you had a business partner called Sarah or Laura. You would ask the young women to model clothes for modelling or research purposes, offering them payment or free clothes in return. The clothing was deliberately tight-fitting. You took photographs, and there were occasions which you posted those photographs up onto your social media account without their knowledge, something I consider a particularly aggravating feature of this case. The women were of course lied to because they never got the payment of the clothes, and they were left feeling embarrassed and some of them humiliated. You sometimes met these women late at night when there were few people around in the gym. And I have looked at some of the text messages in this case which show not only are you a determined liar, but at times there would be a degree of unpleasantness close to bullying. You approached HC by Facebook in March 2015 telling her, as you were, that you were a powerlifter, telling her that you made videos for a friend's company and asked her to model prototype leggings. You then met her at a gym in the Royal Holloway. You had your 10 to 20 pairs of leggings with you. You asked her to put a pair on and bench press, and you filmed her in a way that made her feel uncomfortable. You also asked her to try on several other pairs of leggings which she saw were old and worn and sweaty, and indeed 1 pair had been altered at the front so that it showed her pubic area. Of course, she foolishly agreed to wear several other pairs but felt very uncomfortable, and then had the humiliation of realizing that you had uploaded footage of her onto YouTube. And so it was that she was your victim. Your next victim was in April 2015. She used to go to the gym where you mainly trained. She did not like the way you looked at her, but you came over telling her you were a powerlifter and offered her assistance, and then later asked if she would be interested in doing some videos for a legging company, pretending that you worked with someone called Sarah. And then on the 10th of April 2015, provided her with low-cut leggings, filming her doing exercises. And of course, she too was to realise that this was all a lie, and she became aware of your YouTube account. And she set out the harm that you have caused her in her victim personal statement. And of course she says the obvious. Had I known that your purpose was for your own sexual gratification, I would never have consented to you watching or filming me at all. I now feel scared because you have intimate images of me. I'm concerned about what you might do with them. That May, you defrauded DC, offering her money to model leggings and making her pose, asking her to pull her buttocks apart. The same month you defrauded Ms. M at another gym in Fulham. She felt very uncomfortable throughout the whole process. In February 2017, again in Fulham, you approached Ms. C with a lie about having a prototype, and the light-fitting reflecting material meant she would not have to wear any underwear. And you made her squat and stretch in these leggings to the point that her pubic hair could be seen. And of course she was lied to, and of course there was no payment for her. In August 2017, you defrauded LS, and you got her to agree to be filmed in her own clothing at work. She believed this was for research purposes. That November, you defrauded HM, again getting her to pose in leggings, asking her to give herself a wedgie. And she noted that a pair you asked her to wear did not have any crotch, and that her underwear would be fully on view. And she was left feeling so embarrassed by the whole thing. Moving on to count 19, in late 2017 you approached SS. You pretended you had your friend called Sarah and that you had a proper purpose for taking their photographs, which you did not. And she stopped agreeing to be photographed when she realised that you wanted her to be in rather lewd poses. In January 2018 you defrauded JJ, again lying to her that you were doing research work, getting her to put on a pair of leggings that was so low she felt almost naked. In February 2018 you defrauded EM at a different gym, again pretending that this was for research purposes. And in this incident a very unpleasant feature is that you asked her to go into the toilet with you to have further underwear photographs taken, telling her that most personal trainers do this in order to obtain measurements. Thankfully she refused, but she described how when she became pretty angry with you, you were not at all pleasant back to her. In March 2018 you defrauded an old school friend KC, and you approached her under your fake partner's name of Laura and told her all sorts of lies about this Laura, and the facts of that are set out in the opening note. And then in April 2018, in the evening at a gym that you had been banned from using, you defrauded SH, again pretending you had this business, getting her to meet you quite late, taking photographs of her, getting her to put her pants up and carry out the wedgie test that she all found rather strange and made her feel rather uncomfortable. And she of course in due course reported what had gone on to the gym staff. So those in an outline deal with the frauds. SE, as you well knew, was underage. You well knew because you had been part of her induction to the gym. She was 17 years old when you took photographs of her. She described being led to a private training area at the back of the gym, asked to try on different pairs of leggings, asked to walk on a treadmill so that photographs could be taken from behind, and then of course the voyeurism and causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent went on in March 2018, when you approached Ms. B by Instagram, offering her money to model leggings. You were pretending to be Laura. There was in due course a meeting. She was asked to wear a dress that rode up to reveal her buttocks, and she was asked to be on the treadmill. She was asked to jump about in an unsupportive sports bra, based on a lie. She was asked to model leggings which were thin and see-through, and invited to conduct the wedgie test. And of course she was invited to massage her bottom with a toy. It never penetrated, but that was what she agreed to do, and was filmed doing. And of course she was asked to lie on the changing room floor with a thong on her back with her legs spread. And she consented to this because she believed she was assisting you with your research. And of course she never got the money, and indeed was told that there would be no money unless she met you again. Now of course back in 2016 the police spoke to you because they had had reports about your activities. You complained that there was a Facebook campaign against you, which there was, but it is of great concern that the police gave you some very strong advice about your future behaviour, which you completely ignored. And then in April 2018, when you were finally arrested and interviewed under caution, you gave an extremely detailed and elaborate story. Indeed, it was an extremely bold lie. Now you are 30 years old, you have a large number of previous convictions. I recognise that there was a gap of 5 years before your last offences, and that may be inaccurate. I've taken that from the pre-sentence report. Looking at your antecedents, 18 convictions for 31 offences. Your last court appearance before these offences, September 2013, so in fact just about 2 years or even less before your offences. Offences for violence, for dishonesty, for arson, and for perverting the course of justice. The author of the pre-sentence report, of course, highlights that the offences back in 2007 and 2009 demonstrate a misogynistic attitude to women. The perverting the course of conduct relates to quite determined lies about who had been driving, and the arson, which is always a troubling conviction, I am told relates to setting fire to curtains in a restaurant when you were high on ecstasy. So it seems to me that your previous convictions are an aggravating feature